Continuing on with my LEGO SpongeBob series, here we have the emergency room, which released in 2007, and I think it was a store exclusive, I believe, for around $30 USD back in the day. I'm not sure what that translates to in NZ, but I don't think this was available here if it was a store exclusive. We only just got our first store in 2019. The overview here is part of an ambulance, the emergency room as featured throughout the series, and we had two exclusive figures with the Dr. Fish as an exclusive character. Right away, the ambulance. Okay, I bought this set as part of a bundle that made sure to mention to me that it was missing parts, but it was for that reason that they decided to slash the price by like a ridiculous 50% or something stupid. So I got this for an absolute steal, and the way I see it, I still get the emergency room, plus the figures, an ambulance I can live without. It uses a similar design to the boatmobiles, which is great for in-universe continuity, and there's a gurney inside for play features, but it's been some time now. I should really look into fixing up the ambulance and getting those pieces that I'm missing. I'm well aware of this. As for the emergency room itself, I absolutely adore this building. Stop me if you've heard me say this before. This set, above all the others, really does show off its cartoon style best. I love the look of the set so much, I made sure to buy a brand new sticker sheet because after the tragedy that was my Mrs. Puff's boarding school, I knew I wanted this one to at least be looking special later on down the line. The colours do really shine on this set and those details are great. But something I've always found strange about it was the amount of empty space that the set has. The build appears to be on a nice sand-coloured base plate, but the build itself barely takes up any of that room. A large area is left absent for a parking space, but it should barely count as a parking space really. It's just there's nothing going on here. The room isn't an enclosed space either, it's just an L shape, which is probably why it feels so empty and barren to me as a build. Thankfully on the inside though, we do have a decent amount of things to interact with compared to other LEGO SpongeBob sets. These are stickers featuring SpongeBob's x-rays and an anatomy chart. There's a computer here as well, which I assume is for maybe a receptionist. The doctor's area has a really nice sink build with some extras here, like more stickers and bottles of some helpful liquids. Or maybe they're not helpful. There's a couple of desk drawers here, but nothing to put inside. The Max Turbo and Doors SI prints are not from the set, those are from the CMF Series 1 Nurse and the City Garage respectively. I don't know why the seller didn't have the actual tiles for me, but they didn't. They just threw these in as little extras. Luckily, as I mentioned, I did buy a new sticker sheet, so I do have those designs. I just didn't want to apply them onto printed pieces. So the actual stickers are supposed to be a chart and a clipboard and a stethoscope, which is a really weird sticker if you ask me. The operating area is located directly by the doctor's working station and also right by the receptionist desk. That is very sanitary. SpongeBob can rest on the gurney and also has an IV drip available. You just chuck it in his head. This is the Incidental Doctor, also known as the Snail Doctor throughout the series. This type of Dr. Fish does appear throughout other episodes, and there are different coloured variants. Some of those are even named, like the orange Dr. Fish named Dr. Gill. I see lots of people calling this guy Dr. Gill, just clarifying that. The LEGO set officially labelled him as Bikini Bottom Emergency Room Doctor. Great name. What I love about his inclusion is that he's only one of 3 miscellaneous Bikini Bottom residents made into LEGO, the others being a bus driver and eventually, a long time later, an ice cream vendor. So for that reason alone, I was always trying to get a hold of him, but I love that purple headpiece, which is the exact same piece used for the bus driver and for the ice cream vendor, so that probably explains why these fish were made over someone like Larry. His prints are pretty simple, but he is very useful. Patrick Star is the exact same figure covered on this channel in the Mrs. Puff's boarding school. Patrick's head is a special piece that is made of a solid plastic, and I would love to see a new Patrick where his colours are a sharper pink than this flesh tone that they used, but all we can do is hope. Fingers crossed that we get like a D2C Krusty Krab or something. SpongeBob is an exclusive to this set for featuring bandages wrapped around his head. Excellent printing here where you can see it even reaches his head and the wraps actually do connect onto each other on all sides of his printing. His expression is also a pretty good one, it fits that character quite well. He must be feeling that IV drip by now. LEGO SpongeBob is a sandwich board piece that covers a regular LEGO body piece I believe, and it works really well. What I love about the emergency room is the same thing I love about Mrs. Puff's boarding school. I think the SpongeBob sets really show off LEGO's ability of capturing a style well, but unlike Mrs. Puff's boarding school, there's actually a decent amount to see and appreciate on the inside here. I am, however, not really a fan of the L-like structure that this build makes on the base plate. I feel too much of that plate was not well utilised. Also, it'd be nice if I actually had all the pieces. If you enjoyed this review of an old LEGO SpongeBob set, subscribing and liking the video does help to support the channel. Take care.